In October 1908, after 2 years of development, Henry Ford introduced the latest in his alphabet line, the Model T. It had a 4-cylinder, 20-horsepower engine, a vastly improved transmission, and an ingenious magnetic generator that provided power for an ignition and lights. With an open top and an optional cover, it came in just one color, green at first, later black. Weighing only 1,200 pounds, the Model T could go 40 miles per hour on a smooth, straight road. It was also remarkably durable.
They didn't break down a lot compared to other vehicles, and when they did, they were very simple to repair. This wasn't somebody just geeking out a product. This was a quality to the economical car that the world had never even imagined could be possible.
At a time when the average car cost more than $2,000, the Model T sold for just $850, and the price soon would begin to drop. The response was immediate and overwhelming. Orders poured in from doctors, traveling salesmen, artisans, and farmers, people who had never dreamed of becoming motorists.
The Model T changed everything. It gave people a new sense of power and authority and control over their lives. You can go wherever you wanted, and you can go by yourself.
You can get in your car, and you have access now to towns, to cities, to places that were beyond your reach just a few years earlier.
Ford has a sense that this is it, that he's reached some kind of culmination in his work. And I think the sales of the car as they begin to take off only reinforces this notion that he's finally got to where he wants to go.
A farm wife from Rome, Georgia, wrote Ford a letter of appreciation, one of thousands. Your car lifted us out of the mud. It brought joy into our lives.
When they launched the Model T, it becomes clear pretty soon that they have hit a Grand Slam home run and that this market is immense. Think of a gigantic vacuum cleaner right at the door of the plant, sucking every finished vehicle out, like that.
On January 1st, 1910, Ford moved his production line to a vast new factory on the outskirts of Detroit called Highland Park. He declared the company would soon achieve his ambitious goal of producing 1,000 Model Ts a day.
His whole business model is to sell a cheap product. And the way that you create cheap products is by making more of them in a shorter amount of time.
While Ford was able to make the machine parts quickly, assembling the cars bogged down the process.
A friend of Ford's once compared him to a kind of boxer, tiptoeing and dancing around the factory floor all the time, thinking about what could we do here, what could we do there, how could we change the production process to make the car better and cheaper and bring out even more of them.
While they're groping about for improvement, someone begins to think about the meatpacking plant where the carcass of a hog or cow is hung on a conveyor and it moves through the plant past meat cutters who cut pieces off the animal. What if we turn that around? What if we put in some machine that we want to assemble and we move it past people and we have people put things on?
Ford's team tried out the idea in the flywheel magneto department, where the device that generated electricity for the ignition system was made. Rather than having one person build a coil at a time, a supervisor broke down the individual tasks into a sequence driven by a conveyor. The new system reduced the time it took to make a magneto from 20 minutes to 13 minutes, 10 seconds.
And then somebody says, well, if it works on magnetos, what about transmissions? What about axles? Well, what about engines? Productivity goes way up. Time to produce a car goes down. And they realize we're really on to something here.
Under the old stationary system, the record time for assembling a car had been 12 hours and 13 minutes. Using the assembly line process, it took 1 hour and 33 minutes. By the fall of 1913, Ford had established the first automobile assembly line in the world and controlled nearly half the American car market. Henry Ford had achieved his coveted goal. His company was now producing 1,000 cars a day.